Greetings from Digital IMA, our national IMA, and welcome to our show. We do it weekly every Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m. on a different subject. And the subject for today is Charity Begins at Home, how to prevent heart attack amongst doctors. Why did I choose this subject? Because everybody says you are a doctor, you are not supposed to get heart disease. And if you develop a heart disease, people start wondering that how can doctors get heart disease? True also, because the wild animals do not get heart attack. A lion of a jungle is not supposed to get heart attack. Most of the postmortem studies of jungle animals have shown that they don't suffer from heart attack, but a rabbit of a laboratory, the lion in the zoo, or the dog at the home, the pet dog, they all suffer from heart disease. We have all rabbit models, we all have animal models, and we have shown them that they do develop heart disease if they live our lifestyle. And if heart attack is a lifestyle disorder, then why should doctors get heart disease? Because they are supposed to prevent in among them others, and if they cannot prevent among themselves, I think it is a matter of concern. So we did a study when I was the president of the Medical Association in 2005. We wanted to honor people who are 80 plus. People means doctors. And we anticipated in the city of Delhi there should be at least 800 doctors who should be 80 plus amongst a total population of around 40,000 doctors in the city of Delhi, if we go by the percentage. And we could not get more than 15 people. They may be alive, but we could not get 15 people. Couple of years later, then again IMA did the same exercise, and this time they decided that we are going to honor all doctors who are 85 plus, and we could not get 10. It's a matter of concern. That means being a medical doctor is injurious to health. That means doctors die earlier than non-doctors. We don't know the proof. Normally doctors are supposed to live longer than the general public because they're supposed to take precautions. Then I started looking at my own hospital and CSI, Cardiological Society of India, Delhi branch, and I started closing my eye and started looking for how many doctors in my hospital or in CSI have got their bypass done or angioplasty done, or they are suffering from heart disease. And we found that incidence is no different than in general population. That means the general population, whatever is the incidence of bypass surgery, angioplasty, and whatever is the incidence of heart attack, the same is there in the medical population. If that's so, it's very clear we ignore our health. We don't practice what we preach. And today's topic is we should practice what we preach. And that is our, how can we prevent heart disease? When I say heart disease, I'm talking about coronary artery disease. We are not talking about rheumatic heart disease or the congenital heart disease. How do we prevent coronary artery disease amongst ourselves being medical doctors? With me, on my left is Dr. V.K. Monga. He is chairman of Health Committee of Delhi Municipal Corporation in the past. He has been a counselor there, and he runs a Monga nursing home in East Delhi. To my right, I have Dr. Viveka Kumar and Dr. Keval Krishan. Both of them are from Max group of hospitals in Delhi, and both are at the moment practicing in Saket, Max Saket. And Keval Krishan is a senior consultant cardiovascular surgery, and Viveka handles the medical part, angioplasty, complex CADs, pacemakers, electrophysiology, anything which relates to intervention, Viveka handles. And I myself, Dr. K.K. Agarwal, who is the Honorary Secretary General, I'm a practicing cardiologist specifically in the field of preventive cardiology and non-invasive diagnostic cardiology. So my role basically does come in prevention of coronary artery disease. A year back, I do a lot of preventive courses. A year back, I got some discomfort in the chest, and I ran and got my CT angio done. And all the time I was worrying that if I develop coronary artery disease, people will say that prevention is not good. That means if Dr. K.K. Agarwal cannot prevent CAD in himself, that means preventive programs are bad. And luckily, the angio was clear. And this year again, I had some problem. CT angio was normal. So it is possible for all of us. If we really practice lifestyle courses, it is possible for us to prevent coronary artery disease. And that is going to be our topic. So I'll start the unconventional way. And before that, let me give you a number. Right? Please write down that number 9810118256. I repeat 98101, which is Airtel number, easier to remember 98101 18256. So 18256. That is the number. You can call or you can send an SMS in this number if you want to ask any question or interact with us during the next 40-45 minutes. And after the initial discussion, we will also show you some of the a video on CPR, how to prevent, how to revive a person after sudden cardiac death. Starting from Keval, how old are you?
I'm 45.
45. What are the risk factors you have? Be honest.
For now, one is stressful life.
Stressful life, that's
And,
one. Being an Indian is one. Two,
Being an
stressful
Indian
life.
is one, and there's above 45, age of above 45.
Do
Being
you
a
smoke?
man.
Do you smoke?
No, I don't smoke.
Do you take excessive of alcohol?
No, I'm.
Do you walk every day?
Yes.
You walk every day.
Yeah, and
Do you take a lot of trans fat in your
not,
diet?
Not really. I don't.
You are very particular about trans. No, I'm talking about not talking about egg, trans fat.
Yeah, no, not really, because.
So you take precautions.
Yeah, precautions about.
So whatever you preach, you try to take precautions.
Yeah,
When did you
try-
have your last treadmill done?
5 months ago. It was stress. I went for stress with the treadmill, stress echo with treadmill, and it was normal.
And it was normal. Did you get your intimal media thickness of the carotid done?
Not really.
Do you advocate to the patients that get it done once in 3 years? Because
Yeah,
that is the
I would
earliest.
say that is the earliest sign of.
And you
getting
haven't got
gone-
it done for yourself.
No, I haven't because
That's
because
what-
I did that. I went for stress also because I reached 45, and I thought I now
Why
I should-
45? You should be at 30. In doctors, it has to be at 30.
30, but
We can't.
I-
In doctors, we can't because we are having excessive
excessive
risk factors. What about
Yeah.
Viveka? When did you have your last treadmill done?
No, so I had the whole body checkup in 6 months back. That was fine.
Did you get your intima media thickness done?
Yes.
It was normal. And did you had your cholesterol profile done?
Cholesterol profile.
And you are
Also
maintaining.
genetically, yeah. So in fact,
And you don't
genetically,
smoke?
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke. What about Monga?
Treadmill, I think around 7-8 years back.
7-8 years back. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you the other way around. So for those who have not got their treadmill done, let me ask a question. If you can walk for 2 kilometers, if you can climb 2 flights of stairs, and if you can have a partner, you can have an exercise in the bed with your partner without any discomfort or breathlessness, that means you've done a normal treadmill. What about? Do you walk 2 kilometers?
Yeah, I do almost daily. 5 days a week at least.
You walk 2 kilometers,
Yeah.
and you have absolutely no discomfort.
problem at all.
No problem. Do you climb 2 flights of stairs without any
I
problem?
don't use lift till 4 floors.
Okay, so he is doing a normal treadmill on a daily basis. So all those doctors who are watching our program, if you can walk 2 kilometers, and if you can if you can climb 2 flights of stairs, or if you have a normal relationship with your partner, and if you are in your bed while doing a normal bed exercise, if there are no symptoms, and if your partner says that you are fine, they are practically you're fine. You may not go for any treadmill test, you may not go for CT angio, or you may not go for anything else. Now, Keval, how many doctors you have operated so far?
500 after in last 3 years. I would say.
Doctors you have been
No,
operating?
doctors maybe 10 or so, not more than that.
Not more than that.
Only few doctors, like every 2 months or 3 months, one doctor comes. Not.
Do you find
not-
any difference in these doctors? Why?
No, all those who come to us, they have triple vessel disease already because they are referred to for bypass surgery. Because the doctors, they want to go for stenting first because they are more than general population.
Viveka, what is your experience with doctors' coronary arteries?
No, so I would say, second your data, that doctors are in fact more prone for coronary artery disease because of the stress, and though they know that what are the lifestyle modifications needed to decrease the coronary artery disease, but just because of the lack of time, they are not able to do that. In fact, dietary pattern also they are not able to follow. So I would say that in fact every day in my cath list, at least 1 or 2 doctors would be there. Today also there are 2 doctors, and they want a quick job. They want that they should be ready for the tomorrow's OPD. They should not miss. I have got 2 South Delhi doctors. I have to go and do their angiogram, and they are insisting that it should be from radial so that they can tell that they had not taken any leave.
So,
and-
I mean, do they have more triple vessel disease? Do they have more?
no, so I think it's
The same-
it's
same as
the
general.
same as the general population.
Are they more
One-
diabetic?
They are more diabetic.
How
they
many
more
of them are
hypertensive.
smoker?
I would say that smoking, despite the knowledge amongst doctors, is significantly lower than general population.
Lower?
Lower.
I probably-
So, in fact, those who had come to us, I think I would say that, or they don't declare probably, but I would say that they, on paper, on records, the data suggests that of late the smoking prevalence and tobacco intake in doctors have come down significantly.
And what about alcohol? What about
Alcohol is
PGL or
high.
HDL?
So HDL and all those patterns are similar to general population, but alcohol intake is significantly higher in doctors.
So alcohol indicate and more than the recommended
More
limit.
than recommended.
More than the
More than
recommended.
the-
And anything about pot belly obesity? Do they have
Pot belly
more?
obesity also is significantly high.
So the risk factor in them is metabolic syndrome.
Yes, absolutely.
But-
So I think they are more often metabolic syndrome and all is more common. And in fact, a lot of them try to go for exercise or walk, but they don't.
So let me
find-
explain. We have been talking about a term called metabolic syndrome. That metabolic syndrome is a unique thing in Asians, specifically in Indians. And being an Indian is a risk factor. We have a lot of studies which says an Indian doctor is 17 times more likely to get a heart attack than an American doctor settled in US. So Indian doctor settled in US is more likely to get a heart attack. So there is something wrong in our Indian doctors. And if that's so, why in the era of Mahabharata and Ramayana there were no coronary artery disease? Practically, we haven't heard of Ravan, Meghnad, Kumbhakaran, Ram, Lakshman, anybody dying of heart attack except for Raja Dasharath. And that too, he died of a stress-related sudden cardiac arrest. So there was, CAD was missing at that particular period. And we started looking at what may be the reason. And then we started looking at, and there were two eras, the era of weekly vrat and the era without a weekly vrat. So till few hundred years back, there was an absolutely custom of not eating carbohydrate once in a week. We call them as vrat, and vrat means eat once, eat less, and no carbohydrate on that day. It used to be a anaj ka vrat. Nobody was supposed to eat sugar, nobody was supposed to eat rice or wheat on that particular day. So on an average, a person would do 52 weeks carbohydrate fast, and then he would do 12 extra Ekadashi fast, and then he would take 2 Navaratras, and then he would not eat carbohydrates in 2 Navaratras, which is 18 days. In total, it comes out to be approximately, if you take the overlapping out, approximately 80 days in a year, you're not supposed to eat carbohydrate, and our previous generation was following that, and the metabolic syndrome was not there. Today, the metabolic syndrome incidence is 33 to 37%. Reason is insulin resistance and hyperinsulinemia, and the reason is eating carbohydrates every day. So if you're going to eat carbohydrate every day, and we are not only eating carbohydrates, we are shifting to refined carbohydrates. So if you're going to eat carbohydrates every day, you're going to develop metabolic syndrome, which will present with pot belly obesity. Your abdominal circumference will be more than 80 in women and more than 90 in men. And then your blood pressure starts rising, your blood sugar starts rising over a period of time, and the blood sugar velocity will go on increasing. And after that, your TG will start go on increasing, HDL will start becoming low, and ultimately you end up into a coronary artery disease. And this complex is called metabolic syndrome. And that's what Viveka has said is that metabolic syndrome is a common factor for causation of heart disease among doctors. Okay. You have been organizing, I would say the culprit for doctor's disease are people like you.
Culprits.
Yes.
Okay.
Are people like you. Because you are managing the association for the last 30, 40 years. And you don't take care of them. You offer them drinks every day. And that too at 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, you start opening the drinks. The Vedic life says anything fermented should not be taken after sunset. Okay, so you will offer fermented items only after sunset. And your food you will not serve before 11 o'clock in the night, which according to Ayurveda is a pitta period and is bad for the heart. And your food, you will never make sure that the food doesn't contain trans fat. It has to be tasty. So tasty, they cannot bear the cost of desi ghee, so ultimately it will be a trans fat. And a lot of snacks will be there. And doctors will start enjoying at 9 o'clock their drinks, will eat their dinner at 11 or 12 in the night. They are going to end up into coronary artery disease. And if you see, they will drink, they will smoke, and the abdominal girth will go on increasing. And if you really check doctors, the metabolic syndrome is very, very, very high.
Most of them are unhealthy.
What can we
That's
do?
right.
What can we do?
I think you are right on most of the issues, because we are also human beings, a part of the general population, and most of us, I mean, they like to enjoy whenever they are out, and maybe they have some restrictions at home, but once they go out for a dinner or party or something, they definitely would like to have a good, sumptuous, full of fats and carbohydrates, whatever food they take. Alcohol consumption definitely in these meetings is pretty high. And but definitely I must tell you that IMA, Easily branch and DMA has been organizing some checkup camps for doctors. For example, 1st of July every year.
So first you give them lot of trans fat, and then say we'll get you a checkup done, and then say we'll also start offering you Disprin in your.
That is really paradoxical, but definitely. I mean,
tomorrow you will start saying we are giving you a very, 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 very high fatty food and take atorvastatin also.
Yeah, that's
Is
right.
that-
I mean, that's really bad. But
so-
people don't understand. They come out. I mean, they
I
come for that.
know a
only, yeah.
drug called Orlistat came, and at that time people started saying that Orlistat should be given in every, and whenever you're going to eat out,
Yeah.
take Orlistat and then eat out. But that eating out is once in a 15 days or once in a month. But we are talking about almost every day.
No,
Because
definitely.
CMEs today CME are everywhere.
Yeah, but
Every
I
day
think
you have an invite, and you may have an invite for 4 CMEs in a day, and you end up in eating your dinner every day.
that is why more and more doctors are falling sick, in spite of knowing.
So what do we do?
That,
I'm trying to
you know-
find out an answer. Keval, do you have an answer? What should we do? What should we do? Let's talk about.
We can reduce sweets in our CMEs. That's the one.
So anything which contains sugar.
Sugar-free sweets.
No. I'm coming again. Let's define one by one.
Yeah.
One is sugar.
Yeah.
So
one is-
anything more than 3% sugar is
Yeah.
harmful to the health.
yeah.
3% cannot be harmful because that's ORS.
Yeah.
ORS is 2.5 to 3%.
Yeah.
So anything which contains more than 3%
Yeah.
has to be limited.
It has to be limited.
There are 3 examples.
Yeah.
One is soft drinks, which is 10%.
Yeah.
Second is sweets, mithai,
Yeah.
which is 33%.
Yeah.
And third is chasni wali mithai,
Yeah.
which is 50%.
We can reduce that.
No, 50% you'll have to take it out.
Yeah.
They're all tasty also. Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you forget
Nothing
they're all
can be,
tasty? Yeah.
nothing, the taste is because of sugar.
Yeah.
Taste is because of
See, if you go to Maharashtra, there are 2 types of tea. One is special chai and one is a Badshahi chai. Special chai means you have to order for that, which has less sugar.
Okay.
Badshahi chai means 4 teaspoon of sugar, and it becomes more tasty. Anything which contains sugar,
Yeah.
it becomes addicting. Sugar is addicting.
Sugar and fats are also addictive.
Sugar is addicting. Number 1 is sugar. If I have to choose between sugar, salt, trans fat, saturated fat, the number 1 killer is sugar.
But we can with
Sure.
time.
And what happens here is you would say he would say as a surgeon, because he is not supposed to practice preventive cardiology. What he would say is, don't take soft drink, but you can have 2 rasgulla, which is 50%. So he's saying, don't take 10% of the, but you can take rasgulla, which is 50% of the sugar.
No, but with the time it happens. Like with me, at the age of 30, I used to take the normal sugar, but now I put only sprinkle that. But now if I see the people who are drinking that, it looks to me like a poison.
That's the 3 month
mentally-
story. That's the 3 month story.
Yeah.
If you restrict your sugar intake for 3 months,
Yeah,
your new taste buds develop.
yeah.
You will not take that much.
Yeah,
So exactly, you only have to practice for 3 months. So all of you are listening, just practice for 3 months,
Yeah.
and after that everything will become all right. So one is sugar.
Yeah.
So no sugar at least once in a week, 80 days in a year, make it sugar free, and do not take more than 3% of the sugar. Now, if you have to take a soft drink and it is 10%, how do I make it 3%?
So either you dilute it.
With soda.
So
So
you
I
dilute
normally, which I do is I take say 50 ml of 60 ml of, suppose I take Coke, non-diet Coke, I'm talking about regular Coke. I would fill it up with around 100 to 150 ml of soda and then start enjoying. So I make it 3% sugar so that it is not harming me. In any way, most of the studies says the 10%, 200 ml of 10% solution is relatively safe as far as metabolic syndrome is concerned. All the studies are more than 1 drink. But as a cardiologist, I would even go lower to that. So one is sugar. All of us should restrict eating sugar. When I say sugar, means eating sugar, rice, which is refined carbohydrates, and maida. That is also a sugar. And we should take it out 80 days in a year. At least once in a week, we should say that I am on a refined carbohydrate fast. May what happen? That's first recommendation. Second is salt.
The salt, in fact, if you look at the awareness among the society about the bad consequences of sugar and salt, society is more aware about salt than the sugar. But it should have been, other way around, because sugar is, people feel it is innocuous, and from childhood, mothers would train the kids, and kids would love the sugary drinks and sugar, candies and all those kind of things. But I think the salt awareness is there, but traditionally the Indian food is very rich in salt, and anything like pickles, papads and all those things.
Achar, papad, chutney, APC, achar, papad, chutney.
And then gravies and all. So they are very, very rich in salt. So those are the things which should be out of menu.
So how do I identify that this is salt? Na, sodium.
Yes.
So anything which contains sodium is salt. It may be soda bicarb, which is meta soda. People don't think that meta soda is salt.
Yeah.
And then anything which doesn't contain salt, sodium is fine. So KCl as a salt is fine. That's the reason you substitute, because it doesn't contain sodium, Na. And similarly in sugar, anything which contains OSCOs, glucose, fructose, maltose, galactose, that all is sugar. So what is the current, how much salt do you take?
So
How much salt
now,
do you take?
So now I think there is a very good study which was published in NEJM, which showed that it should be, 2 grams to 4 grams of salt is the one which should ideally be. So if you cut off completely, then also it's not. There is a U curve which has shown that if you are completely salt free, then also the longevity is lower. So salt should be no extra salt. So in one day you should not cross beyond 4 grams, and
So
definitely
4 to 6
not
grams.
4 to 6 grams. Yeah.
So 1 teaspoon, I normally say 1 teaspoon, which is 5 grams. 6 gram is the recommended limit.
Yeah.
Lower the better.
Yeah.
Lower the better.
So very low or salt free is also not good.
So salt free is not good. Up to 6 grams of common salt is fine.
Yeah, fine.
And if you want to take more, then you replace some of them with potassium chloride. Without. So what about iodized versus non-iodized salt? What is?
Yeah, because we in our diet, most of the Indian take vegetarian diet. If you or the rural population as well as urban, so we don't take more iodine from the flesh.
So therefore we need iodized oil.
We don't need iodized.
So only a word of caution that those people who believe in Jalaneti and who have a sinus problem, and if they are doing a Jalaneti, and that's the only condition where you don't use iodized salt. And in India, we also have a very high incidence of thyroiditis. And if you have thyroiditis, make sure you don't take iodized salt. Except for these 2 situations, in all other situations, you take a normal salt. Okay. Now, I'm used to take a lot of salt. Okay? Munga also, you can answer. I take a lot of salt. And now you're telling me you reduce my salt by 50%. So how do I make my food tasty? How do
Definitely,
I
you can add lemon, you can add
lemon. So one is lemon.
Yeah.
Second is so lemon. I will maybe able to put it only in the rice or in the sabzi. Lemon I will not. One is potassium chloride.
potassium chloride. Yeah.
One is potassium chloride. Second is adrak. So adrak and lasan, if I make their powder,
They'll add something and they'll give
then
it taste.
if I make it more spicy, that means kali mirach, green hari mirach and lal mirach, it will make it more. The more kesar, little bit kesar if I put, it takes away my craving for salt.
Okay.
Okay, so lasan, pyaj, tomato, all these things takes away your craving for salt.
Basically anything which is strong enough
Astringent,
to eat into the-
pungent, astringent and pungent. Katha. So anything which is astringent, which is muli, which is pyaj, which is lasan, and which is pungent. Pungent is hari mirach, kali mirach, lal mirach, and kesar. These are all pungent. Anything which is astringent and pungent, if you add in your food and add less salt, you will forget about the salt.
But
So
at the
you're-
cost of gastritis.
And
Okay.
no, see, salt also you're not taking so much. You're only adding. You're not going to add hari mirach a lot, thoda sa. So just to change the requirement,
Taste and flavor.
taste and flavor. So you, in any way, sweet, sour and salt has to be switched over by pungent, sour and salt. Pungent, astringent and bitter. That's the way 6 tastes have to be. A third thing now, we have talked about consensus about sugar and salt. Now we come back to oil. When we say oil, oil means oil, butter and ghee. Just call up your wife and let me know which oil you're using.
Saffola.
Saffola. Okay. What about
So we try to mix it up.
Mix it
with
up.
the Olive, sapola,
Mix.
Olive and
mustard.
everything, yeah.
so there are 3 types. Do you take butter?
Yes, in the morning.
I just asked you said Saffola.
No, but most of the butter I put only. I take the like paratha.
Malai.
Even if I have to take, I take it as a dry make.
Malai?
No, not malai.
You don't take malai.
No, don't. Yes, no.
Okay? And what about you?
No, so we strictly.
So when I talk about saturated,
Yeah.
and then there are 4 types of oils. One is saturated, second is trans fat, third is mono, and fourth is poly. What about trans fat? What is your advice to doctors for trans fat?
And try to reduce
Trans
this.
fat is the most harmful one.
most harmful.
make it
one,
zero.
so take- yeah,
So
make,
make
it
it zero.
Make it zero.
No.
Make it-
So anything.
As a
which-
doctor, I would say make it zero.
Make it zero. Yes.
Make it zero. Natural trans fat is fine, but artificial trans fat and trans fat is mostly hydrogenated palm oil
Yeah.
should be zero. So all doctors should make sure when they go and eat outside, if they find it is trans fat, make it zero. Samosa kachori in trans fat 0, and bhature in trans fat 0. So that's 0. Now we come back to saturated, mono, and poly. I would divide equally in 3 of them and limit it to 15 ml a day. That means half kg per person per month. That's my calculation. This is what I do. Variety and moderation is my way of telling my people. Variety and moderation. What about your recommendation?
Yeah, so I would say that that's the best strategy is to have variety and moderation. So, and then try to be, never use, like you have already discussed about trans fat. So in this also some amount of hydrogenation. So if you use leftover oils, so that's the worst thing to do. So like suppose somebody has deep fried in oil. even
So
if you have
reuse of oil, specifically if it is polyunsaturated oils, and if you are going to reuse them, they are going to get oxidized. They are going to produce more of They are going to produce lots of harmful chemicals, and that can harm the body. For that, what oil do you use?
Olive oil mainly.
Olive oil.
Yeah.
So people who are rich will use olive oil. People who are poor will take sarson ka tel. So obviously, owning a nursing home, you have to take on olive oil.
But you cannot avoid it also because all the
It's okay.
Mainly, 80% of that. is-
Now come back to the 4th one is an exercise, and normally I say is 80 minutes of exercise every day, 80 minutes of brisk exercise every week, and minimum 80 steps in a minute. That's the formula of 80 we try to say. But then wherever you have a possibility of moving, move and move, and you can do 20 minutes of stretching exercises. At least you can share up 20 minutes of walking twice a day, twice a week. Twice a week you can have a brisk walking, and 20 minutes twice a week you can have a stretching exercises. As long as your blood pressure is controlled and you do not have coronary artery disease, then you need to talk to your doctor. How much exercise you do?
Exercise for about 10 minutes and walking 30 minutes.
What is the definition of 10 minutes exercise?
Stretching exercises?
Stretching
Yeah,
exercise,
yeah.
but no anaerobic.
No aerobics.
You don't play squash. You don't play.
No, I don't.
What about you?
I in the hospital I try to do and I don't use elevators. Most of the time I try to use stairs. That is the one way of working. The other thing is whenever I go home before like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on the treadmill I do almost with the speed of 10 I do almost up to 10 minutes.
What about you?
Also, I regularly morning either go for 45 minutes or jogging, or if the weather is not good, so exercise on treadmill for 20.
So
25
wherever
minutes.
possible as a doctor,
Yeah.
let's walk. And then invariably people will say we don't have time. That will be the first thing which raises, we don't have time for exercise. So I usually would say is
I'll make sunflower mustard oil, which is good for the heart.
variety.
There's a question.
Variety. Please. Abhinandan.
Abhinandan.
Answer is mix of oils. When you have I normally say if you have to use a monosaturated, if you are rich, olive, if you are poor, sarson, if you are in between, canola oil, and in poly you have choices. So you have a mix of all oils. Don't buy the same oil every month. Buy the different one, and you will be able to balance yourself with that. Now, you were talking about
Exercise.
exercise is so your exercise level should be you should exercise every day, and if you do exercise every day, it's a little bit of you can mix up all types of exercises. Wherever you get time, you make it a point to exercise. And most of the doctors would say, I have everything minus time. I can walk, I don't have time. So when you go to your clinic, and most of us would have a driver, and if we do have a driver, we get down a kilometer before and we walk, and we take another kilometer later and then take our car, and 1 kilometer is 5 to 7 minutes. So you can buy time like that. If you are sitting on a phone, you're calling, go walk and take a phone and talk to people. Wherever possible, you should talk. So 5 minutes, 7 minutes, everybody can get. Regular time, they may not. So if you're going, you finish your clinic, you're going to your house, walk for half a kilometer, 1 kilometer.
We had
Working
done
in the-
one study which showed that if you are walking, walking giving a cardiovascular good effect, that has to be in continuation at least for more than 15 minutes.
Nobody will be able to do
So,
that.
no,
At least
but-
something is better than
Yeah,
I
obviously.
said most of the studies we do agree that continuous exercise is better. But at the moment we are talking about something is better than nothing.
Take care of
And
your
the other
body
thing is,
muscles at least.
like you said, the people don't have time to make it happen. Like I used to come at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock from the hospital, and 2 or 3 times a week I used to go, and then I used to feel guilty that I am not going for jogging. Then I bought this treadmill that I don't have any excuse. Still, I can do only 4 or 5 times a week, despite
Okay.
Do you feel
Then
there is no
avoid-
difference in treadmill and
no,
plain
just I don't
walking?
want to skip the exercise. That's the
Okay,
only.
we
That's
should
all.
avoid
It is not
sitting in an
essential.
atmosphere which is more than 80 dB, noise pollution. Therefore, we should make sure that when we are going out for the parties, and everybody can download a software in your iPhone, and you will be able to measure free of cost what the decibel letter are at that particular moment. So avoid noise pollution, which increases blood pressure. Avoid normal pollution levels, particulate matter 2.5 and 5. For easy remembrance, go to the DPCC website and see what is the level of pollution, and make sure that wherever your clinic is, your decibel letter, your particulate matter is less than 80, and that's how you should do. Now we come back to we have done exercise, now come back to smoking. So smoking is good for health, for doctors' health. Everybody knows smoking is good for health. You don't get old.
Yeah.
Because you die young you die young. So smoking has to be zero. How do I do it? So doctors still smoke.
Yeah, but the smoking is the I think only bad habit which does not leave any organ in the body which can.
What do I do?
That's the
How do I
because
convince-
the alcohol or the other things or whatever you take, they damage a particular 1, 2, or 3 or 4 organs. Smoking is the only thing which.
How do I
damage-
convince my medical fraternity? I know that living is not easy.
Yeah.
And I've seen top cardiologists of the country, top orthopedicians, top surgeons, that whenever they get time, chup chup ke peete hain. How do I pass on the message? Because if they continue smoking, public will not listen.
Or I've seen people doing it in OT side rooms also. They'll just go out and do it.
Because they have developed.
No, so I think the aggressive awareness and these things are working.
Awareness is there. I mean,
But I
we
think
don't
they-
have to talk about
so they
awareness
are-
among doctors.
No, so I think new that tablet which has come, Champix
Nicotine,
and all, which
huh?
is not nicotine. So they
Champix,
have been.
Versenalin.
So basically, Versenalin sometimes helps in these kind of.
So whatever you do,
But the
make
biggest-
sure that because of your smoking, it's creating a bad image to the medical profession. If you're going to smoke in the OT, outside the OT, in the hospital premises, in your parties, in presence of non-doctors, I think it is causing a big harm to the medical fraternity. Come back to alcohol.
Yeah, and the other thing I can tell, one thing about the smoking is, like all the doctors, as they get older, they earn more money, which is a normal people, management, and public also feels like that. So you should have more age with you to earn more money. That you can say. If you don't smoke, you can earn more money at the older age.
So I come back to alcohol, and I'll do some basics of alcohol. Then I come back. I personally don't drink, but I'm not against drinking because social drinking, provided people drink the way I think, but nobody thinks the way I think. When I was reading, I was having a meeting with Ayurvedic doctors. I said, in our mythology, there is a mention of Sura, and all devtas used to drink fermented drinks, probably alcohol. I don't know. Sur and Sura is specifically mentioned. Then I started looking at the Indian mythological Vedic literature, and I found that alcohol is mentioned in alpahahar quality, means in a minimal quantity. Alp means in a minimal quantity, so it is mentioned there. They also have mentioned afim, ganja, and other things. Whatever we do puja with Shivji ki puja with ganja, they all are mentioned into alp category. That means they have to be in a very, very, very minus met category. And when I was reading the literature, medical literature, what does it mean? Then for social drinking, for the purpose of relaxation, it has to be maximum 6 grams. 6 grams of alcohol in men and 3 grams of alcohol in women will give you a total relaxation as that of a Campos, Alprex, Larpos, or whatever, lorazepam, diazepam, lorazepam. And that would amount to 18 ml of 40% whiskey in men and 9 ml of 40% whiskey in women. So your recommended relaxation dose is 18 ml. After that, if you go back to your harmful dose, the harmful dose is more than 40 ml of, in Indians it is more than 30 ml, that is one pack, Indian pack, because in Indians we have more tendencies to metabolic syndrome and fatty liver. So for Indian is 30 ml in 1 hour with a maximum of 60 ml over a period of 2 hours. And in a week, it is 4 times. That means 4 times in a week you can have this much amount of alcohol. That means in a week it will be 180 ml. That means if you're taking 2 ml, 2 packs in twice a week or thrice a week, it's fine. But what happens amongst the doctors is, that you take this, you're not sure whether you're going to get the second filling or not in a party. So you will fill up the whole glass, you will keep it here, then you take another glass and sit here with the soda and go on drinking it. And invariably they end up in taking 200 ml, which is absolutely risky. 6 packs of alcohol in 1 hour, 5 packs of alcohol in 1 hour, or 6 packs in a day. Binge alcoholism can precipitate arrhythmias, cardiomyopathy, heart failure, even sudden cardiac death. How do I do? Because if a doctor is drinking in public, if a doctor is drinking in his patient's company, if a doctor is drinking with non-doctors, and after 30 ml, once you are the effect of alcohol, you will speak, you will start abusing your colleagues, you will start abusing your hospitals, you will start coming out with all your secrets, which you are not supposed to, and nobody is happy. So they will say, my this colleague has done today this, he has done this mistake in the OT, he has done this mistake in the OT. So we are all criticizing each other, we are all abusing each other under the influence of alcohol. What do I do? All 3 of you.
The one thing is they should they should develop the habit slowly, they should restrict their intake of alcohol. Yes, because if they don't, they should know their limit. That one thing is, because some are drinking.
I would say, whether you agree or not, a doctor should not drink with non-doctors. Whether he is his wife, children, or anybody. A doctor, if he wants to drink, he should enjoy his drink only in the company of other doctors, and he should restrict himself to social drinking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so I think to pattern of drinking should also be looked at, because one study which was done in All India Institute that also showed that when you drink, the lesson was that in Mediterranean diet, when people drink, they get protection out of alcohol, whereas in India, so this ICMR funded project showed that whatever you eat with your drink is so harmful in India that the benefit of the small alcohol intake also changes. Second thing is
No,
that
let me answer. Let me answer. If you see the French paradox and if you see most of the international studies which have shown that alcohol is good for health, most of them they take alcohol in their supper.
supper, yeah, with food,
In their supper.
Yeah.
And their supper timings are 5 to 7.
yeah, 5 to 7 yes.
They never take it at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And that fits into the Ayurvedic Vedic philosophy that fermented food should be taken before sunset. So if you're going to take your alcohol after sunset at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night, it is going to harm. It is not going to give you that protection. And that the protection, there is a limit.
Yeah.
The protection is a limit. The limit is 30 ml in 1 hour. But if you're going to take more than that, there is a question of protection.
No, so that's again, so it has to be very slow. So it's not like, you
In
know,
1 hour,
as you
30
said,
ml in 1 hour.
as you showed the example that the people will fill the glass whether they can get the second serving or not, and then they would like to gulp it in one go, and so that's also harmful. Third thing is that you should also select your drink. If you look at the among the alcohols which are reasonably friendly with the heart concept, so the most popular drink in India, whiskey, is the most harmful for the heart. So if you choose wine, especially the red wine or even the beer, is better than whiskey. So, but the maximum sale of beer, if you look at the at duty free shops in London, the maximum sale of the whiskey is by it is bought by the Indian population. So I think select your drink, base your drink, and then the company which you said, the company of the drink is also important. Like if you are drinking with your own peers, you have to be the side dishes which you are taking with the drink, that should also mostly be salads. But here that ICMR study did show that not 1% of the population who drinks would take it with salad, whereas almost 99% of people in Mediterranean area, they drink their because that is with the supper, so they would take it with the salad and then gradually take it over the course of 5-course meal. But here it's not like that. So I think as a medicine, if we use alcohol, then till that time it is good. So take it as a medicinal dose, 30 ml or maximum 60 ml. But if you go beyond that, then it is.
But
like
nobody drinks more than 2 drinks, no? Nobody drinks more than 2 drinks. But after 2 drinks, you don't remember how many you have drank.
No.
So they will only remember 2 drinks.
In fact,
So
I'll
therefore-
tell you, sometime we used to think that we can restrict the time of the drink. For example, 8:30
I'll
to
give you
9:30.
an example.
But it was not only that. I mean, people don't
I
respect it. Yeah.
attended my sister's son's marriage in US 1.5 years back.
Yeah, they do it very
And
strictly.
it was that they've written. They says the party starts at 6, and 6 to 7 is the cocktails, and then 7 to 8 is the function. 8 o'clock is the supper time. So we reached there, and then we saw there was a separate corridor, huge corridor. Their drinks were being laid down, and inside food was closed. So 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the door closed, all drinks taken out. 7 o'clock, all drinks taken out. You cannot take a drink after 7 p.m.
But then
It was very clearly
whiskey is not
disciplined.
served in those programs. I think they take only wine and beer.
Whatever they keep.
Yeah.
I'm
And
saying
vodka.
it was disciplined. 6 to 7 means after 7 o'clock, with the food, no whiskey was available. No drink was available. No red wine, no beer was available. It's totally disciplined.
Yeah.
Totally disciplined. And even I don't mind. I went to Norway, and Norway has a very strict alcohol policy. And in Norway, it's a limit that you cannot take, if you go to any restaurant, they will not give you a refill. And the amount is limited per person per entry. You cannot buy alcohol in a restaurant in Norway. There is a limit. So similarly, at least in doctor's party, we can limit ourselves to 30 or 60 ml wherever there is a consensus. Okay, so we are now short of time. So I'm
Just last, they say it cannot happen to me syndrome type of a thing. Doctors always think that it cannot. How can I have a heart attack?
you're more
How
prone to
can I
get. Doctors are more prone to get heart attack. I'm going to come back. So
This-
one last message from each one of you
Okay.
before I sum up. How do
I think number one, that's what I was talking about, that you shouldn't think that you cannot have it. You are definitely more prone to it because
so
of the
doctors
stress you
are
have,
not immune. They are more prone to
more
get
prone
heart
to
attacks.
get attacked.
I would like to say that they should avoid sweets.
So he says they should avoid sweets altogether.
I think whatever the knowledge of prevention of heart disease we learn as a doctor, we should practice with our
Practice what
family.
you preach. Practice what you
That
preach.
will make us.
I'm going to add up this part before we start the video on a cardiopulmonary resuscitation. If you want doctors to live and practice up to the age of 80 years, there are 80% chances you are not going to get heart attack till the age of 80 by understanding the formula of 80. And that is keep your blood pressure, lower blood pressure, fasting sugar, abdominal circumference, bad cholesterol, and abdominal circumference all less than 80. There will be some variations here and there. For which don't take more than 80 gram of caloric food, more than 80 ml of caloric liquid at a time in food, and miss your carbohydrate 80 days in a year. Walk 80 minutes a day, brisk walk 80 minutes a week, at least 80 steps in a minute. Do 80 minutes of parasympathetic breathing, which meditation, relaxation, pranayam every day. Do not sit in an atmosphere of more than 80 decibel noise pollution or 80 value of more than particulate matter 2.5 or 10. And with that, you do not smoke. If you smoke, you will end up into 80,000 rupees either to Keval Krishnan for giving you a bypass graft or to Viveka, so putting some stents. You end up in paying that. Do not take alcohol, and if you take less than 80 ml in a day and 80 grams in a week, so everywhere 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Try to do that. Reduce your sugar, reduce your salt intake, and if I have to find out one factor to reduce, keep your abdominal circumference less than 80, is miss out chini chawal maida, white rice, white maida, and white sugar. Do not eat them 80 days in a year. And the only thing I want to add is, whatever you do, try to do it. I do a lot of lifestyle course, and my program is very clear. My program is very clear that you exercise every day, sit up, you get up in the morning. In the morning, I recommend that you take a cup of milk in the morning without sugar. At 6 o'clock, you can have a cup of milk, and or you can have anything which is bitter. You can have ghia ka pani, you can have tori ka pani, you can have karele ka pani, you can have methi ka pani, whatever you want to have, or you can have a black tea in the morning without sugar. 8 o'clock, take a cup of milk along with 20 almonds. At 11 o'clock, have a fruit. In the afternoon, do not eat any anaj. And that in the afternoon, you can have sabzi or dal or a mixed vegetable, or you can have besan ka something. And in the evening, you can have a fruit. And in the night, you can have anaj once in a day. So it's either you can have 80 days of anaj in a year, or you can take anaj only once in a week. And if you do once in a day, and if you do that, there are chances you may reduce 4 kg in the first month. And if you're doing so, then you can know that you are carbohydrate sensitive, overweight or obesity. And if you continue that, you may be able to restrict and if you do that for 3 months, it will become your habit. And of course, I always tell about for the mental relaxation. On Monday, you practice non-violent communication. On Tuesday, you practice confession. On Wednesday, you practice give non-materialistic gift to everybody. And on Thursday, think differently. On Friday, enjoy the nature. And on Saturday, you do charity on that particular day. Think of wellness for the people, community or the society. And on Sunday, मैं साधुओं से कभी-कभी आलाप भी कर लेता हूँ. मंदिर में जाके पूजा पाठ भी कर लेता हूँ. ये सोचकर कि आदमी से खुदा ना बन जाऊँ. मैं संडे के दिन में कुछ चीटिंग भी कर लेता हूँ, कुछ पाप भी कर लेता हूँ. That means Sunday you can do some cheating. If you really want to do something, do it on Sunday so that you restrict yourself 6 days in a week. So that's what we want. We don't want any doctor to suffer from coronary artery disease. Now, even if you have, don't forget to take your atorvastatin. Don't forget, and that's also 80 milligram, and aspirin also 80 milligram. That's a formula of 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. So if you have a heart disease, don't forget to take atorvastatin and aspirin, and your rest of the drugs you should continue. And also remember that if you develop a heart attack, take water-soluble aspirin, rush to a hospital for an angioplasty or a stenting with that. And even if you have a coronary artery disease, doesn't matter. You have stenting available, you have coronary bypass surgery available to get it done. And don't be afraid of death, because even after death you can be revived. Teach CPR to everybody. Why? Because if you need it, somebody else will be able to save you. So it will do a charity, it will be a community service. And CPR formula is very simple. Within 10 minutes of death, at least for the next 10 minutes, with a speed of at least 10 into 10, that is 100 per minute, compress the center of the chest continuously and effectively. And if you do that, you may be able to revive a person. Let's see a video, a 15 minutes video on how to do CPR. And we will be back next week with another subject. Till that, goodbye. Thank you.
The thing is like what you said, all the 80s. So it means whatever is told, like जितना दाना पानी लिखा है उतना खा के जाओगे. तो आप दाना पानी खाओ.
दिल्ली रेड क्रॉस सोसाइटी एंड दिल्ली पुलिस. मेरा नाम है डॉक्टर के अग्रवाल. मैं हूं ऑनररी सेक्रेटरी जनरल इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन एंड प्रेसिडेंट हार्ट केयर फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया. आज हार्ट केयर फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया, IMA और दिल्ली पुलिस सबने मिलकर एक बीड़ा उठाया है कि दिल्ली की PCR वैन के 100% स्टाफ को हैंड्स ओनली CPR 10 सबको आना चाहिए और 14 अगस्त से पहले 100% PCR वैन के स्टाफ को CPR 10 आना चाहिए. उसके बाद में जो भी नया आदमी PCR वैन स्टाफ बनेगा वो पहले CPR 10 सीखेगा, उसके बाद में वो PCR की नौकरी करेगा. ये CPR 10 है क्या? ये है मरे हुए आदमी को जिंदा करना. जी हाँ, मैं यही बोल रहा हूं, मरे हुए आदमी को जिंदा करना. अक्सर लोग सोचते हैं जो मर गया वो मर गया, अब आप उसको जिंदा नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन सच्चाई कुछ और ही है. जिन आदमियों की मौत, आदमियों, इंसान यानी कि आदमी, औरत, बच्चा, बूढ़ा, कोई भी हो, जिसकी मौत अचानक होती है और हार्ट के रुकने से होती है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं कार्डियक अरेस्ट, उसका ब्रेन कुछ मिनटों तक जिंदा रहता है हार्ट के रुकने के बाद में. क्लिनिकली आपको लगेगा मर गया, उसको रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आएगा, उसकी सांस नहीं चल रही होगी, उसका हृदय नहीं चल रहा होगा, लेकिन उसका ब्रेन जिंदा होगा. अगले 10 मिनट तक ब्रेन जिंदा रह सकता है और इस 10 मिनट में अगर आप उसके हार्ट को रिवाइव कर दो, हार्ट को चला दो. जैसे स्कूटर को धक्का मार के, किक मार के आप चला देते हैं क्योंकि पेट्रोल अभी बाकी है, उसी प्रकार से रुके हुए हार्ट को अगर आप चला दें क्योंकि उसका ब्रेन अभी जिंदा है, तो वो आदमी उठ के बैठ सकता है. इस टेक्निक को हम CPR 10 बोलते हैं, हैंड्स ओनली CPR बोलते हैं, बायस्टैंडर CPR बोलते हैं, फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर CPR बोलते हैं, रेस्क्यूअर, फर्स्ट रेस्क्यूअर CPR बोलते हैं. CPR का मतलब है कार्डियो पल्मोनरी रिससिटेशन. कार्डियो मीन्स हार्ट, पल्मोनरी मीन्स फेफड़े, रिससिटेशन मीन्स रिवाइवल. इसका मतलब है कि कोई भी आदमी जिसको सडन कार्डियक अरेस्ट हो, जैसे हार्ट अटैक हुआ और मर गया, जैसे इलेक्ट्रिक करंट से डेथ हो गई और आदमी मर गया, डूब के आदमी मर गया, शॉक से आदमी मर गया, आपकी रेड हुई, रेड के अंदर आदमी को एकदम से हार्ट अटैक हुआ और मर गया, चेस्ट पे ब्लंट ट्रामा, फुटबॉल का, क्रिकेट का, स्टीयरिंग का एक्सीडेंट के अंदर में ब्लंट ट्रामा लगा और आदमी मर गया, एक आदमी दौड़ रहा है, दौड़ते दौड़ते गिरा और आदमी मर गया. इन सब, क्रिकेट का मैच चल रहा है और एकदम से एक आदमी आउट हुआ, कोई उसका चहेता आउट हुआ और आदमी को शॉक लगा और आदमी मर गया. इन सब सिचुएशंस के अंदर में अगर बाय स्टैंडर्ड, अगर फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर उसको इमीडिएटली उसको CPR 10 दे दे तो आदमी को जिंदा कर सकते हैं. और ये तभी हो सकता है जब आप कुछ मिनटों के अंदर में इसको चालू करो. और याद रखो, दिल्ली के अंदर में कोई आदमी अगर समय पे पहुंच सकता है मिनटों के अंदर में, वो सिर्फ PCR वैन है. ये अपॉर्चुनिटी है आपके पास में, क्योंकि मैं एज ए डॉक्टर भी वहां नहीं पहुंच सकता 5 मिनट के अंदर अंदर, क्योंकि PCR वैन पहुंच सकती है. तो पूरी दिल्ली में अगर कोई आदमी मरे हुए इंसान को बचा सकता है तो वो है आप लोग, PCR वैन वाले के स्टाफ, क्योंकि आप समय पे उसको कार्डियक कंप्रेशन देके बचा सकते हो. लेकिन ये जिंदा आदमी के लिए नहीं है. जिसकी सांस चल रही है उसकी नहीं है, जिसकी पेनफुल स्टिमुलाई से हाथ पैर हिल रहे हैं उसके लिए नहीं है. आप सब लोग ट्रेंड हो, एक आदमी को पेन प्रोड्यूस करो, चाहे हाथ को यहां दबाओ, चाहे अपनी आंखों को दबाओ, चाहे चेस्ट की सरनम को दबाओ, चाहे उसकी उंगलियों को दबाओ, अगर पेन प्रोड्यूस करोगे और आदमी हाथ पैर नहीं हिला रहा और साथ में सांस नहीं ले रहा, उसकी छाती को देखो, सांस ऊपर नीचे नहीं हो रही, अपने हाथ को नाक के पास ले जाओ, उसमें आपको हवा नहीं आएगी। अगर आपको लग रहा है कि वो रिस्पॉन्स नहीं कर रहा, उसका सांस नहीं चल रहा, तो आपको सोचना है कि वो मर गया और उसको इमीडिएटली CPR 10 स्टार्ट करना है। इसके लिए आपको सर्टिफिकेट की जरूरत नहीं, डिप्लोमा की जरूरत नहीं, आपको कोई भी डिग्री की जरूरत नहीं। ये CPR 10 तो सबको आना चाहिए, चाहे वो PCR वैन का स्टाफ हो, चाहे वो दिल्ली ट्रैफिक पुलिस का आदमी हो जो बाजार में जो चौराहे पे खड़ा हुआ है, चाहे वो पेशेंट के रिलेशंस, हार्ट के पेशेंट्स के रिलेशंस हो, चाहे वो किसी कॉलोनी का चौकीदार हो, सर्वेंट हो, ड्राइवर हो। एक बार एक आदमी ने बोला कि मैं नहीं सीखूंगा। क्यों नहीं सीखूंगा? क्यों, मेरा इसमें क्या फायदा? तो मैंने बोला कि तुम जाके सीखो, अपने घर में सब जाके को सिखाओ, अपने चौकीदार को, अपने ड्राइवर को, कि अगर मैं मर गया तो मेरे को कैसे जिंदा करोगे। यू नेवर नो, आज जो आप सीखने जा रहे हो सकता है आप में से किसी को इलेक्ट्रिक करंट लगे और बगल वाला आपको बचा दे। हो सकता है आपका कोई रिश्तेदार हार्ट अटैक से मरे और आप उसको बचा दो। तो इसको सिर्फ आप अपनी ड्यूटी से बांध के मत सोचो, ये सोच के चलो आप किसी को भी जिंदा कर सकते हैं। तो सबसे पहले आपने देखा एक आदमी मरा पड़ा है। सिचुएशन 3 हो सकती है, आपको बुलाया गया फोन करके कि एक आदमी मर गया, जल्दी से आइए। दूसरी सिचुएशन ये हो सकती है कि लोग बोलेंगे कि अरे अभी तो जिंदा था, ये इमीडिएटली क्या हो गया, लगता है कि इसको हार्ट अटैक आया है या इसको जो है कार्डियक अरेस्ट हो गया है। तीसरी सिचुएशन के अंदर में कि रोड ट्रैफिक एक्सीडेंट है, कटापटा पड़ा है, उस सिचुएशन में आपको लग रहा है कि मर गया कि नहीं मर गया। हर सिचुएशन में आपने ये बोलना है कि डॉक्टर को बुलाइए, लेकिन जब तक डॉक्टर नहीं आता मैं इसको बचाने की कोशिश करता हूं। पब्लिक को बताइए, पब्लिक का शक दूर करिए कि मेरे को मरीज को बचाने की टेक्निक आती है। ये जो टेक्निक है ये डॉक्टरों वाली टेक्निक नहीं है, ये वो टेक्निक है जो हर आम आदमी को आना चाहिए। तो आपने लोगों को बोलना है आप हटिए, मुझे लगता है इसकी सांस नहीं चल रही, जब तक डॉक्टर नहीं आता या जब तक हम इसको अस्पताल नहीं ले जाते मैं इसको बचाने की कोशिश करता हूं। तो आपके पास 2 सिचुएशंस हैं, एक में CPR 10 आप वहीं कर सकते हो, दूसरी सिचुएशन में आप उसको ट्रॉली में लेटा के PCR वैन में डाल के नियरेस्ट मेडिकल सेंटर ले जाओ और रास्ते में आप उसको CPR करते हुए कर सकते हो। तो जब आपने देख लिया कि सिचुएशन आपके फेवर में है, CPR करने की स्थिति है, चाहे वो जमीन के ऊपर में हो, चाहे वो स्ट्रेचर के अंदर में हो, और आदमी की सांस नहीं चल रही, रिस्पांस नहीं कर रहा, तो अब आपने CPR करना है। अब आप सीखिए टोटल CPR की टेक्निक। मेरे साथ में है योगेश पंत जो कि हार्ट केयर फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया से हैं, और मेरे साथ में राजेंद्र सिंह जी हैं जो कि दिल्ली पुलिस से हैं और ट्रेनिंग डिपार्टमेंट से हैं। दोनों के दोनों CPR के अंदर में एक्सपर्ट्स हैं। और आप देखेंगे मेरे पास में 3 बॉडीज पड़ी हुई हैं। एक बॉडी पड़ी हुई है टेबल के ऊपर जो कि एक स्ट्रेचर के ऊपर में पड़ी हुई है। समझ लीजिए ये PCR वैन है और PCR वैन के अंदर में स्ट्रेचर आपने रखा हुआ है और स्ट्रेचर के ऊपर में आपने ह्यूमन बॉडी जिसकी हार्ट रुक चुका है वो लेटी हुई है, और 2 मैंने जमीन पे डमीज मैनिकीज लिटा रखी हैं जहां पे ये दोनों लोग खड़े हैं। दोनों टेक्निक हम आपको दिखाएंगे कि अगर आपने कभी भी आपने CPR देना है तो आदमी को हार्ड सरफेस पे लिटाना है, बिस्तर पे नहीं, सोफे पे नहीं, गद्दे पे नहीं। हार्ड सरफेस का मतलब या वो जमीन होगी या वो स्ट्रेचर होगा, और स्ट्रेचर भी किसी हार्ड सरफेस के ऊपर में होगा। अगर ये स्ट्रेचर है और इस हाइट पे है जिस हाइट पे ये लेटा हुआ है, तब मेरे को खड़ा होना पड़ेगा, तब मेरे को खड़ा होना पड़ेगा और इन दोनों लोगों को बैठना पड़ेगा। और कैसे बैठेंगे? घुटनों के बल में, घुटनों के बल में बैठ जाइए। घुटनों के बल में खड़ा होना है। ये घुटनों के बल बैठे हैं और अब ये घुटनों के बल खड़े हो गए, ये घुटनों के बल खड़े हो गए। घुटनों के बल खड़े होने से, और मैं यहां पे सीधा खड़ा हूं, इसके बाद में मैंने दोनों हाथों को सामने ले जाना है, कोहनी को सीधा करना है। कोहनी को सीधा करने के बाद में हथेली को मेरे को छाती के बीचों बीच, दोनों निप्पल के बीच में, मेरी जो चेस्ट है इसके बीचों बीच मैंने अपने हथेली को उसके ऊपर में रखना है और अपने कंधे को आगे लाना है ताकि कंधा और हाथ एक ही सीध में आ जाएं। जब ये यहां पर आ जाएंगे तो मेरे को 10 मिनट तक, कम से कम 10 मिनट तक 100 प्रति मिनट की स्पीड से इसको दबाना है। कितना दबाना है? 1 से 2 इंच। और कैसे दबाना है? दबाने के बाद में आपने दबाया और हाथ ऊपर किया ताकि पूरा रिकॉइल हो चेस्ट का। दबाया, ऊपर किया, दबाया, ऊपर किया, दबाया, ऊपर किया, दबाया, ऊपर किया, दबाया। ये 100 पर मिनट की स्पीड से दबाना है और कंटिन्यूअसली 10 मिनट तक दबाते रहना है। अगर आप थक गए तो हर 2 मिनट के बाद में आप दूसरे आदमी को लाके उसको बोल सकते हो अब तू साथ की, मैं हटा, और उसने दूसरी तरफ से चालू कर दिया। इससे क्या होगा कि एक आदमी के बचने की उम्मीद बन सकती है। जब तक वो आदमी हाथ पैर ना हिलाए, आंखें ना खोल दे या डॉक्टर ना आ जाए, आप इसको करते रहिए। तो इसका एक फॉर्मूला है, मरने के 10 मिनट के अंदर, अर्लियर द बेटर, कम से कम 10 मिनट तक, लॉन्गर द बेटर, 10 into 10, कम से कम 100 पर मिनट की स्पीड से अपनी छाती पीटने के बदले मरे हुए इंसान की छाती पीटो। यानी कि आपने क्या करना है, लोग अपनी छाती पीटते हैं, हाय राम मेरे छोरे ने बचाओ। अरे अपनी छाती क्यों पीट रहे हो, मरे हुए आदमी की छाती पीटो। जिंदा आदमी को पीटने के बदले मरे हुए आदमी को पीटो, तो आप उसको बचा पाओगे। सो विद इन 10 मिनट, 10 मिनट के अंदर अंदर, लेकिन वेट नहीं करना कि 10 मिनट का, जितना जल्दी करोगे उतने चांसेस है बचेगा। एक मिनट में 10% चांसेस कम होते जाएंगे अगर आप वेट करते रहोगे। कम से कम 10 मिनट तक, कई बार 25 मिनट तक करते हैं, बच्चों में तो 35-35 मिनट तक हम लोग करते हैं। 10 into 10, कम से कम 100 पर मिनट की स्पीड से। आपकी स्पीड होनी चाहिए 100 और 125 के बीच में, और 1 से 2 इंच चेस्ट दबनी चाहिए। कब तक? जब तक मेडिकल हेल्प अराइव ना हो जाए या आप मेडिकल हेल्प तक ना पहुंच पाओ पीसीआर वैन के साथ में। ऐसा करने से आप लोगों को जिंदा कर सकते हो। तो रिमेंबर, मरने के 10 मिनट के अंदर, अर्लियर द बेटर, कम से कम 10 मिनट तक, लॉन्गर द बेटर, 10 into 10, 100 पर मिनट की स्पीड से अपनी छाती पीटने के बदले मरे हुए इंसान की छाती पीटो। इससे आप एक मरे हुए इंसान को बचा सकते हो। जिसकी डेथ, ब्रेन डेथ हो चुकी है, फांसी से ब्रेन डेथ हो चुकी है, या फिर गला कटने से ब्रेन डेथ हो चुकी है, उस सिचुएशन में आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते। ये तभी है जब ब्रेन जिंदा है और हार्ट आपका मर चुका है या रुक चुका है, उस सिचुएशन में आप इसको जिंदा कर सकते हो। और बच्चों में और ड्राउनिंग के अंदर में, अगर किसी को ड्राउनिंग है, पेशेंट को, मरीज को उल्टा लेटाओ, पीठ दबाओ, पानी निकालो, और उसके बाद में आपने सबसे पहले सी फॉर कंप्रेशन। जब आपने 30 कंप्रेशन कर लिए, फिर ए फॉर एयरवे, आपने चेहरे को ऊपर किया, नाक को बंद करके मुंह में 2 बार सांस देना है, और उसके बाद में फिर आपने सी फॉर कंप्रेशन करना है। लेकिन ये टेक्निक यूजुअली ड्राउनिंग में कोई ना कोई रेस्क्यूअर वहां पर होगा, हर स्विमिंग पूल में कोई ना कोई एक्सपर्ट वहां पर होगा। हाँ, बच्चों में अकेला चेस्ट कंप्रेशन शायद काम ना करे, हो सकता है वहां माउथ टू माउथ ब्रीदिंग आपको देनी पड़े। याद रखिए, CPR 10 हर पुलिस वाले को आना चाहिए। यू नेवर नो कल किसकी जान बच जाए। इसके लिए आपने कुछ नहीं करना, आपको सिर्फ 2 हाथ चाहिए, और 2 हाथ से आप किसी की जान को बचा सकते हो। और अगर हाथ पैर ठंडे हैं तो याद रखिए कि ठंड में अगर किसी की मौत हो गई है, उसका बॉडी टेम्परेचर लो है, तो उस सिचुएशन के अंदर में मरे हुए आदमी को घंटों के बाद भी जिंदा किया जा सकता है। सो अगर कोई आदमी की डेथ हो गई है, टेम्परेचर उसका लो है और बहुत ज्यादा लो टेम्परेचर है, तो जब तक उसका टेम्परेचर आप नॉर्मल नहीं करोगे तब तक CPR कंटिन्यू करो। यानी कि उसका CPR तब तक कंटिन्यू करो जब तक उसका बॉडी टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल ना हो जाए, और उसके बाद में 10 से 20 मिनट तक, तब तक तो मेडिकल हेल्प आपको अराइव हो जाएगी। इसलिए लो बॉडी टेम्परेचर में कभी भी डेथ को डिक्लेयर ना करो। जब आप अस्पताल ले जाते हो, आपकी ड्यूटी है वहां का डॉक्टर इमीडिएटली इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक दे मरीज को। अगर उस आदमी का अभी भी जिंदा नहीं हुआ तो इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक दे। अगर आपके पास डिफिब्रिलेटर अवेलेबल है तो इमीडिएटली डिफिब्रिलेटर देना चाहिए, नहीं तो अस्पताल के नियरेस्ट सेंटर में वो डिफिब्रिलेटर दे, CPR को कंटिन्यू करे और बचाने की कोशिश करे। बहुत सारी मौतें बच सकती हैं। हर हफ्ते में मेरे पास एक एग्जाम्पल आता है जहाँ पे पब्लिक ने किसी ना किसी को बचाया है। हम भी चाहते हैं दिल्ली पुलिस कम से कम एक आदमी को, इंसान को रोज बचाए, ताकि 1 साल में हम 365 लाइफ को जिंदा कर सकें। जय हिंद। क्या नहीं करना, अब ये सीख लेते हैं। दोनों हाथों से ऐसे नहीं करना, ठीक है? ब्रेस्ट के ऊपर नहीं दबाना, ब्रेस्ट के ऊपर नहीं दबाना, पेट के ऊपर नहीं दबाना, बिल्कुल हड्डी के नीचे का हिस्सा, जो चेस्ट के नीचे के हिस्से की हड्डी को नहीं दबाना, ठीक है? ऐसे करके नहीं दबाना। अगर कंधा सीधा नहीं है, अगर कंधा टेढ़ा है, तब ये काम नहीं करेगा। ये ध्यान रखना है आपने। लोग डरते हैं कि मैं ज्यादा दबाऊंगा तो हड्डी टूट जाएगी। अगर रिब्स टूटती हैं तो टूटने दो, लेकिन मरे हुए आदमी को जिंदा कर लो, रिब्स जुड़ जाएंगी। हाँ, नॉर्मल आदमी में, लिविंग आदमी में हम इसलिए नहीं सिखाते क्योंकि वहाँ हड्डी टूट गई तो ग्रीवियस इंजरी हो जाएगी, इसलिए CPR 10 हमेशा मैनिकिन पे सीखा जाता है।